Hi there everybody! The Summer Game Fest 2023 just got kicked off and went on for 2 hours, and there were 10 great, fantastic games that really caught my eye during this show, and I just want to come here and bring them all to you. And I also just kind of want to say, told you so! Yeah, we got news on Final Fantasy VII Rebirth! Yes! Oh my gosh! So we will get to all of these games, especially that one last, because I'm just going to be presenting these games in the order that they were presented in the show. So let's go ahead and kick this off with Sonic Superstars for the PS5, Xbox, PS4, Switch, and PC. It's going to be coming out this fall for $60. And this was the first game that really caught my eye. I was sitting there and I was watching the show, and it went on for like 20-something minutes, and I'm like, ugh, gosh, could I see another first-person shooter? Like, come on. And then this game came out, and this was the first one that they showed that like really made me feel like, oh my gosh, it's an actual game! Oh my gosh, they're showing a game at a game show! Like, this brought me back to my childhood. This is 2D Sonic, this is platforming, this is Sonic the way that he used to be, the way that he needs to stay. And it has co-op. You can play as Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, or Amy, and you can kind of go around and choose who you want to play as. You can kind of transform, go underwater, all new settings, play with your friends, all that kind of good stuff. It looks fantastic, and you know what? I have been known to play some platformers here and there, some other things like, you know, Kirby and stuff besides just RPGs. Sonic and Mario, I do branch out into those as well, so this game looks like a whole lot of fun, and that's really the only, like, non-RPG game that I wanted to talk about, but it's my channel, and I want to bring up the games that I want to talk about, so let's move on. Next up, we have Honkai Star Rail. There's been a lot of rumors about this game coming to the PlayStation 5, and now it has finally been confirmed for not only just the PS5, but also there is a PS4 version planned as well. It's going to be launching in Q4 of this year. This is a turn-based RPG in the same kind of vein as something like Genshin Impact, so if you're into that, you might want to check it out. Everything that I've read, everything that I've seen has shown me that this actually is very high quality, and it looks to be a great game. I personally myself don't really do a whole lot of Souls-likes. They're not really my thing, per se, but I know that a lot of y'all out there do like the Souls-likes, so I figured that I'd bring this up to you. This is Lies of P, that's coming out for the PS5, Xbox, PS4, and PC on September 19th. It was previously planned to come out in August, but it has now been delayed. However, there is a demo available right now on all platforms. So yeah, they delayed it for quality control purposes, but in turn, they also gave you a demo so that you can play it right now, which I think is a fantastic trade-off, if I do say so myself. This is a Souls-like game, and it's also an interpretation of the Pinocchio story, taking place in kind of turn-of-the-century France and everything. It looks pretty sweet, and I personally like games that take place with like historical figures. Games like maybe Joan of Arc or Eternal Sonata, stuff like that. I think that they're really cool, and I do think that I do wish that we got more games like this. So hopefully if this game does well, we'll see more in these kind of historical takes on JRPGs. Who here doesn't know Akira Toriyama? He is the one who is behind the Dragon Quest series and is coming out with a brand new game called Sandland. This is based on a long-running manga series, and it's coming out for the PS5, PS4, Xbox, and PC. We do not yet have a release date. It gave me a lot of kind of like Metal Max sort of vibes, because it's kind of like Dragon Warrior meets the real world. You're kind of going around in different vehicles, tanks and jeeps and rovers and kind of stuff, and you inhabit a desert world where there is an extreme water shortage. Think something maybe like Filgaia. And humans and demons kind of live together, and you kind of be working together in order to find like this mythical, legendary spring hidden in the desert. And you get to play as a fiend prince Beelzebub, the sheriff Roe, and a demon thief together. So it does look pretty cool, pretty neat. I myself, I'm a Dragon Quest lover, and I do love this kind of art style and games that look like this. Metal Max isn't really my thing, so hopefully it doesn't take too much inspiration from that particular game, and it sticks more to something maybe like Blue Dragon, maybe something like Dragon Quest, the One Piece Odyssey games that we've gotten recently. I can even deal with it if it was an action game as well. The manga was actually created back in the year 2000, so it's also gained worldwide popularity since then. And yeah, it's high time for a game adaptation. There's a new trailer and some new information about Baldurs Gate 3. This is a Western RPG, and anybody who follows my channel knows that I don't really do a whole lot with Western RPGs, and I've never really gotten into Baldur's Gate myself. But it is a long-running series. It's been around since I think like the SNES era. It has been around for quite a bit of time. The game itself has been out on early access on PC since October 6th of 2020, but it is now coming out for the PlayStation 5 fully on the PC and the Macs on August 31st. So if you're a console gamer like me, then you can finally get your hands on this Western RPG. Okay, this is an interesting one. This is Pokemon meets guns. Yeah, at first I was like, what? And then I was like looking at it and I was like, wow. Nothing says, you know, American like Pokemon pulling out like an Uzi and just blowing someone away. And I'm like, it just made me laugh. It says that it's launching on PC for early access in January of next year. And I went over to its Steam page and I kind of looked at it and everything. And it says some of the key features are survival. You have to deal with things like food shortages, harsh weather, illegal poachers. You can also kind of ride and swim and dig holes and fly around on your little pals, I suppose, instead of Pokemon. Kind of reminds me of Dragon Quest Treasures, whenever you would like get a Drakey and you kind of fly across the world right there. I thought that was kind of cool. There's a lot of building that you can do, life management, farming. So it's kind of life sim meets Pokemon, kind of like maybe in that Rune Factory kind of genre there. So it just looks really, really neat. If you're a fan of Pokemon, cozy games, Rune Factory, that sort of stuff, Dragon Quest Monsters, then you do want to check out Pokemon meets tanks and flamethrowers and machine guns here. The Lord of the Rings Return to Moria is coming out this fall. This is, of course, in the Lord of the Rings saga, and it's in the 4th age right here, and it follows the dwarf Gimli as he returns back to the dwarven mines of Moria. This is a survival crafting game. This isn't like an action RPG or anything. I'm going to read what it says about it. It says, set in a procedurally generated dwarven realm of Moria, that's code for randomly generated dungeons. No two adventures will be alike, and every expedition is traversable either solo or online with companions. Players can mine to craft greater gear and resources, but beware because mining makes noise. And noise generated in the quiet deep threatens to awake the dangers below, and where there's clatter, there's combat. Excavate the mysteries of 3 legendary mountains, extract precious metals, scrape to survive, and battle unspeakable forces to learn the secret of the shadow that lurks within. So don't go in thinking that this is, you know, an action RPG, because it seems to me like it's more of a crafting RPG at its forefront with some action kind of there as well, but at the most part, it's going to be crafting. Hey, 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 hey! We have an Android closed beta test for Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis. If you are not aware, Ever Crisis is like all the Final Fantasy games put together into one huge Final Fantasy game. And the closed beta is going to be running from June 8th to the 28th. Pre-registration for the game is available right now. From the game's website, from Square Enix, it says, relive the most memorable moments of Final Fantasy VII and experience the journey of a young hero, Sephiroth. Experience both classic and new stories within the Final Fantasy VII universe, presented in a retro-style look combined with modern, beautifully rendered graphics. It's easily accessible on the go. Team up your favorite characters and customize each one with iconic gear and weapons to defeat powerful opponents in solo or cooperative battle modes. I don't dip my fingers into a lot of mobile RPGs, a couple here and there I will, of course, but this one, I have to. I just have to. We have a new Yakuza game. This one is called Like a Dragon Gaiden, the man who erased his name. Yeah, that's it's quite the mouthful right there. But it looks like it's going to be coming out for the PS4, PS5, Xbox, and PC on November 9th of this year. And as far as the gameplay information, it says that it features 2 fighting styles where players can switch between the Yakuza agent fighting styles and visceral melee combat. With the Yakuza style, you strike fear into enemies by unleashing wildly aggressive moves powered by Kiryu's unparalleled strength and flair. Or you can up the ante with the agent style by delivering blows with absolute speed and precision while using an array of high-tech gadgets and electrified bind wires to stun enemies and then send them flying. My first experience with the Yakuza series was Like a Dragon because it was turn-based and it had job classes, and I love turn-based and I love job classes, so it was kind of a no-brainer to me. And ever since then, I've been turned on by it, by the lore and the humor and everything else. So I kind of want to go back and get into some of the older Yakuzas that are out there, but also, still keep up with all the newer ones that are coming out too. And finally, what we're all been waiting for, what the naysayers wouldn't say would happen, and I predicted it, and I said, yes, it will happen! It's here! Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is going to launch for the PS5 in early 2024. It's not going to hit Christmas, but it will be launching in maybe January or February, sometime in the winter of 2024, and it's going to be on 2 discs. This thing's going to be huge! 2 discs on a PS5 exclusive. It's going to be massive! And we got to see so much of the game. I can't even stand it. We got to see the Chocobo Farm. We got to see the Mithril Mines. We got to see the world map with Calm in the background. There was a point where they were fighting, and there was Hunan in the background with that huge cannon. Elena introduced herself as one of the Turks, and she's over there fighting, probably in the Mithril Mines. I remember in the original game, you saw Elena the first time in the Mithril Mines, but you didn't actually fight Elena there, so you're probably going to get into a scuffle with them there as well. You also get to see Yuffie fight, as well as Red fight. I can't believe I just called her Yuffie instead of Yuffie. All these new trailers and everything is really rubbing off on me here. But it's just oh my gosh, my childhood. I just cannot with this. It looks so good, so perfect, so fantastic. This is just my dreams are coming true. I really, really, really wanted Square to announce maybe Dragon Quest XII or give another trailer on that. That's what I was hopeful for, but I knew in my heart of hearts that we would at least get this. However, I am also shocked that they didn't put in anything about Final Fantasy 16, considering that is coming up in a scant 2 weeks. But I guess, they already have enough marketing on that, and they really want to focus on, the next game out in the future. But oh my gosh, between the Final Fantasy IX remake, the Final Fantasy Tactics remake that we know are coming, this one that's coming out early next year, 16 around the corner. We got the 3 Dragon Quest remakes, 1 through 3. We got Dragon Quest 12 on the horizon. We have a new Dragon Quest Monsters out there too. Ho-ho! I am eating good. I am happy. This is a JRPG renaissance. This is a rebirth. This is what my childhood was like back in the SNES and PlayStation 1 eras. For those of you who are too young to know what it was like back then, whenever it was great game after great game after great game after great game, guess what? That's what it's like right now! This is so good. I can't even contain my excitement. I am just so stoked, so happy. I want to hear what games you're most excited about. What did you like best at the Game Fest? What do you hope that they still show? What are you wishing would happen? Let me know everything, all your comments. I read all your comments. Let me know, and as always, have a good day.